Our chief tourist, popularly known as Zakayo, who also doubles up as our president, is under fire yet again for issuing remarks that have been termed as unnecessary by Gen Zs and angry protesters who consistently keep vigil on the popular X platform, formerly Twitter. In a short while, I will lay bare on your screen President Ruto's sentiments that generated a lot of anger from the Kenyan people. Before I do that, if you are in this channel for the first time, kindly like the video. Also, don't hesitate to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that in the event we upload another informative content, YouTube will automatically alert you. Now back to business. Embattled President William Ruto took to his Twitter handle a congratulatory message to Rwanda's longest-serving president, the well-renowned Paul Kagame. William Ruto's message to the Rwandan dictator was not taken kindly by majority of Kenyans. Here is what President Ruto had to say to his Rwandan counterpart Kagame. On behalf of the people and the government of Kenya, I have the pleasure to convey warmest congratulations upon your re-election to serve a further term as President of the Republic of Rwanda. We celebrate with you the sovereign choice of the people of Rwanda and wish you success as you continue steering your country in the path of peace, stability, and prosperity. I look forward to continuing to work with you in regional and Pan-African affairs in strengthening the bonds of solidarity and fraternity between the people of Kenya and the people of Rwanda. President Ruto's message to his Rwandan counterpart was not taken kindly by Kenyan social media users, with many of them agreeing that Kenya as a country is currently undergoing serious economic, constitutional, and human rights issues. As such, it would be important for the president to focus solely on his land, on his country, which has been likened to an engineering structure under renovation. Whereas the president began his congratulatory message to Kagame by saying, quote unquote, on behalf of the people of Kenya, the Kenyans themselves have distanced themselves from that executive association and declared that President Ruto does not speak for them as citizens. The people themselves have reiterated that the president, if at all he wishes to speak to foreign dignitaries, should speak on behalf of himself and not on behalf of the country as a whole. Moreover, some fearless Kenyans but exclaim that Kenya as a democratic country can in no way congratulate a dictator upon his re-election. And if President Ruto is at the forefront of issuing a congratulatory statement to Kagame, then it can only mean that their characteristics are similar. Not only did the online protesters blast President Ruto for what they called unnecessary congratulatory messages, but they also urged the commander-in-chief to take his time and tour Rwanda in order that he may be conversant with what national development actually looks like. Rwanda has reportedly done so well in terms of general development under President Paul Kagame. Have a look at how Kenyans mercilessly roasted their president on Twitter. The big question we ask today is whether Kenya as a country is actually closed for innovation. Diverse opinions and views have been registered on this matter, but the general feeling is that President Ruto has embarked on a journey to transform his leadership following the Gen Z-led protests and nationwide criticism of his foot soldiers, which we understand to mean the cabinet. We saw President Ruto agree not to sign the punitive finance bill in accordance with the demands of the young generation. Days later, we also saw him dissolve his cabinet, which I believe must have been a very difficult and solemn decision to make, following widespread consultations with his close advisors and also with the Azimio la Umoja coalition leader, Raila Odinga. The president also established a task force to review the country's debts and come up with a report that will enable proper debt payment restructuring and informed decision making when it comes to our national finances. If I'm not wrong, I also think President Ruto recently established a task force to investigate institutions and departments within the government that needs to be dissolved. And this is in order to cut down costs on government expenditure. Now, the presidential efforts that we have aforementioned are what has brought many Kenyans to the conclusion that Kenya is temporarily closed for renovation and that it should be opened when the president's efforts finally yield substantial fruits. Do you, as an individual, feel the country is being renovated? Or do you feel the efforts that have been so far made by our chief executive will not bear any fruit at all? Let us know your thoughts by leaving a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more informative content such as this one. Cheers.